Hello and welcome back to another episode of Suits and Cylinders, where today I'll be showing you the kind of stark contrast of the Singer that I showed you in my previous video, my 1939 Rover P2. Now, a lot happened in the 1930s with cars and motorsports, and this kind of shows you the differences of what the early 30s cars were compared to the late 30s. So, a lot bigger engine, a lot more features, and this car was produced for luxury driving rather than racing around a circuit. So I'm going to show you its features, its engine, and we're going to go for a drive and show you how easy it is to drive compared to the Singer. So come on, we're going to the first bit of the car, and that's the main bit, and it's the engine. So unlike the Singer, I've made no modifications to this car whatsoever. It's basically how it would have come out of the factory in 1939. So they've made it an easy car to get along with, easy car to maintain, and unlike the Singer where you have to undo the bonnet straps or down the springs down the side, all you have to do is flick a switch on the side, the handle, and open up the bonnet. So inside you have a 2-litre 6-cylinder engine. This is actually the 14 horsepower engine model, so any lower than 14 you've got the 4-cylinder engine. A little bit less power, but the 6-cylinder is a lot more powerful and easier to get along with down the road with modern traffic. So like I say, I've done no modifications, just keep on top of it. It's very good condition for its age anyway. And we'll go off to the rest of the car now. So there is something actually very interesting about these P2 models. Because it was released in 1939, something quite big happened not long after their release, which was World War II. And Rover didn't carry on production, but they did have all the body parts, panels, the engines, etc., ready to go in cars. So the war happened and it ended. Now, they actually released the P2 again in 1946, and they did so by using the same body, the same engines, with a couple of kind of different modifications, different features. So you see on the pre-war 1939 models, they have the spoked wheels. Now, pre-war, there was an option to get easy clean wheels. I'll quickly show you them now. And as you can see, they're a lot easier to clean, hence the name. But in 1946, these easy clean wheels actually kind of came out as standard. And there was a couple of different kind of features inside the car as well that changed, but they was relatively all the same. So the pre-war models of this car are kind of harder to find and a bit more rarer these days. So as you can see, it has some great streamlined Art Deco features. Beautiful two-tone body. Now this isn't the original colour it came out with, it was actually a grey colour. But I believe this was a colour that Rover did actually specify in the brochures, but they didn't choose it for this car when it first came out. A couple of little modifications I have made though are the bonnet badges. I am a fan of collecting bonnet badges and bumper badges and mascots. This one is actually off a speed model, so a bit higher engine. They have the sweep back Art Deco looking Viking head, which you'll recognise from the Rovers going all the way up until the kind of 1990s and so on. Now, in the 1930s, Rovers were actually nicknamed the poor man's Rolls Royce. Now, this is because they were a very, very good quality luxury car in the 1930s and up until the 1960s, really. Moving around to the rear of the vehicle, you have probably my favourite feature on the whole car, and that's because it's an actual useful feature. Now, not a lot of 1930s cars had this on them, especially not the Singer, and that's a boot. So if you open this up, you have enough space for suitcases, spare tools, and anything else you need without taking cabin space. And that was a great feature in the 1930s, and it is today when you're going on tours. Another thing in here is the spare wheel. And to open that, you use a special key, which pulls up, and there you have it, your spare wheel. Again, not taking up any more space than it needs to. A great feature, and just shows off the luxury that these bigger Rovers did have during the 1930s. So another feature of this car which really shows its luxury is its suicide doors. Now these were designed to help ease of access, so the door wasn't getting in your way trying to get in. And I'll show you that by how easy it is to get into the driver's seat. And there we are. Unlike the Singer where you have to clamber about and slide down, you're in. And with this as well, They also designed the cars to have a bit more headroom, so you've got space for your hat. You've also got windows that come down quite quickly as well, and wind deflectors, which is great because it stops all the wind buffering. Now, in the rear seats, they are quite luxurious and comfy. You've got a lot of leg room, a lot of headroom, and a lot of room to do anything really. It's a great comfortable car to go down the road in. I don't actually get this opportunity much, and I might actually hire a chauffeur in the future to take me out on drives. This vehicle also has a sunroof, which is great for the hotter weather because these don't have fans or air conditioning. This is all you've got to escape all the engine heat out of the cabin. Now, if the sunroof isn't enough, you can also open the front window, which again lets out all the heat from the engine and does provide a nice breeze in the hot summer days. Another great feature is its indicators, or otherwise known as trafficators. So the luxury does actually extend to the interior of this Rover, and we're going to start off with another feature of mine that I really like, and that's its tool tray. Now this has all the tools you kind of really need to keep the car running down the road, out the way and convenient. You've got storage space, you've got your vacuum operated window wipers, you've got interior lights, you've got your ashtray down here. You also have vents down here. I don't know if you can see, but you kick them out, and that again creates airflow to the cabin. Now up here you have your petrol and oil, you have your clock, your voltage, your speed, your oil and water, your headlight light, your charging light, and stuff like changing from your reserve tank, petrol tank, to your main tank. You can also brighten and dim your dash lights. And on the steering wheel, as I showed you like the Singer, it's got a bakelite centre, you've got your horn, and you've also got a high and low dip beam. Now over here is something called freewheel. So I'm not entirely sure how this works because I've never really used it, but my understanding is it disengages the engine from the differential when you're on overrun, which allows you to actually change gear without using your clutch, which is a great, again, luxurious feature, so it's a smoother drive, etc. And I probably will try that in the upcoming videos, but for now I'm just going to keep it where it is and drive the vehicle how I like it. So to start the vehicle, and unlike the Singer, you do actually have a key. You enter that, turn it, your ignition light comes on, your amperage starts flickering, and you can actually hear the fuel pump start clicking away in the background. And it's as simple basically as pressing a button again. It started. Now if it is a cold morning, you do actually have to use a choke down here and pump the fuel through, but this is pretty reliable of starting. So again, with this you've got a 4-speed gearbox. You don't actually have to double clutch this gearbox, so again a lot smoother, a lot easier to ride, and away we go. And the handbrake works, which is unknown of. You've got a lot bigger steering wheel on this as well, which is great when you've got tight turns. I'm not actually going to make this one, so we are actually going to have to do a 3-point turn. Again, not as agile as what the Singer is. And I did make it. So out on the road, again the first gear is a little bit noisy. Not as straight cut as the Singer, but a great feature as well, which I showed earlier, is the trafficators. Now this car's capable of doing 60-70 miles an hour. I normally again keep to 50-55, especially when you're stuck behind tractors. But just gives you the opportunity to show you what it's like cruising in this car. You can really sit back and kind of enjoy your ride without thinking about what you're doing too much until it comes to braking. Use all my power to overtake. of it. But this road is quite bumpy, so it'll kind of show you how smooth this vehicle is as well, going over the bumps compared to the Singer. It's just a beautiful car to drive around the country. Something that I didn't actually mention in my video about the Singer was costings, and I can imagine it's quite an interesting subject, although I don't actually like to talk about money. So with this Rover, I think the last one I saw ended at auction later last year. I think it was about £14,000 it ended for, which kind of surprised me because this car literally cost me half of that, my Rover P2, but I did actually buy it about 4 years ago now. Now the pre-war market isn't the best at the moment, which is kind of my motivation behind these videos, to kind of show you how the cars are and how good they actually are and how cool it would be to actually own one. So with that, insurance. So insurance, I'm through a classic car insurance. I've got all my vehicles with them, and it costs me about £130 a year. I'm 30 years old, and I've got multiple cars insured through them. And as well as parts as well. Parts for Rovers are quite easy to come by, should I say, compared to some cars. Just like my Singer. My Singer's quite hard, although there is one place just down the road from me which is the main kind of Singer parts dealer, and I can literally get anything I need from there. With Rovers, there's another local place to me, but there is multiple places, so if I can't get one part from that place, I can move to the next. And yeah, that's basically all the costings are. It's free to tax. I do an MOT my cars, just to keep them roadworthy. You don't have to, so that's another cost saving if you don't want to. So your main real cost is kind of fuel, insurance, any parts when you need them, and of course the purchase price at the beginning. So that's a little bit about costings. So there we have it, my 1939 Rover P2. A lot more luxurious as a Singer and a lot more features to it as well. So in my next video we're actually going back into the garage because, exciting news, we've got the block back for the Alvis. So we're going to show starting the rebuilding of that and see how it goes. So thanks again for watching, like and subscribe for more.